Hello, hello, how are you? So today is a concert number 7 out of 10 already. We're reaching the end of, almost the end of Django the Impressionist. Still 6 pieces. Today I'm going to play 2. Improvisation number 5 and improvisation number 2, part 2. So, improvisation number 5. It's a wonderful piece of music. It starts in a very classical way. Okay, you see. Look. So it was recorded in 1947. I think. Let me just double check. 1947. It's like history at school. I don't remember the dates. That's the record, Django the Impressionist, if you're interested. Vinyl, sounds great. So, it starts with 1947, it starts with a very classical theme. Okay, so the first thing already that you can notice in here, here logically you could hear like a D minor coming, but Django, he does an F with a D minor, with a D in the bass. It's like a D minor 7. Already the voicings are different. The next one is a G, except he does it from the third. It's a G7 with the third in the bass, so it's again what we call a 6 inversion. See, it's different, which is something I used to do, but I just realized really listening that it really goes from the B. So here, this is like the finesse of Django's mind. See, this is the guitarist knows this chord very well. It's called a major 7 chord. But what Django does, he removes that note, which is a 5th. Okay. And what does it do? Listen to that. That means that the first interval, see, like everything comes from the bass. Django said it. I think of music like Bach from the bass. Again, I repeat that every day, but. So, see, the first thing that the ear catches here is that interval. So there is like a certain instability that is produced by this particular voicing. Usually when we play it, we add this note here. But now the first interval you hear in that case is a 5th. Very stable. So when you add this one voice, it destroys the unstable quality of that chord. It's amazing, you know? Here, so we're on A minor. We think it's going to be A minor again, but Django is very smart. Why did I tell you? Everything, like Django said, the bass, always the bass. So here you have an A minor chord, but if you put an F in the bass, this shape is not anymore an A minor. This shape with an A in the bass is an A minor. This shape with an F in the bass is an F major 7. For Django, once again, I'm going to repeat myself. These shapes are neutral until charged with the musical energy of the bass. See that? So the bass determines what the pile of note is going to be. And that is like one of the great findings of Django. I think that's the way he hears music. That's my conviction. And that's the opposite philosophy of what we learn usually on the guitar. Usually we learn there is a shape, and we learn that shape, and we place it over a chord. But here the shape is neutral, and the bass determines what the shape is about. It's crazy. So, two, 5, alors so. D minor, F sharp, okay, E, and A minor, okay? So it's like a 2-5-1 here, okay? He does again that thing that he likes to do. That effect is the fourth going to the third. You recognize it is very classical. And he starts at theme again. Now the G in the bass. He wraps up the first part. The bridge is very similar to the one we find in improvisation 3. This is in improvisation 3, first part, he does that. Improvisation 3, part 2, he does that. And in this one, he's going to do this. So the same thing, but he lightening up a little bit. Then he does this part. In the first one, he does that too. In the improvisation 3, part 1, but he finishes like that. So he keeps on going. This one, a few years later, is just gonna close it. He's going to close that phrase. See? He closes it years later. It's amazing. So this is like something like that, you know, like a E minor diminished. Okay? Major 7. So in this case, in the song, when he records it, for some reason he goes really fast through that, and then he slows down. I decided to keep to keep a pace in it, you know. He does, when he arrives here, he does like that. I just decided to keep like a tempo that is very similar to what we came from before and going after, you know. Now, the response to that on one string, have like a moment, hold on, I have to go back a little bit before because now I'm like mixed up with improvisation 3. Voilà. See how beautiful, that's typical Django, but that's very classical too. But notice that That's a little melody. So here, that's typical Django. That's like really an E7 to an A minor. And he loves to do that. A minor 6. So Django really loves that. See, he loves that kind of movement. Then he goes to this this response. Sorry. So there is an underlying melody here. That's really what we hear, that middle voice, you know. Okay. There was a moment of disconnection, I think. I'm not sure if it was disconnected for you. The response. Oops. So here he follows the principle of classical music, meaning that when it's one A minor, when you go down a minor key, you go down with a lower 6 and 7 degree, and when you go up, see, in minor key, when you go up or when you go down, depending on the movement that you're going toward, you are changing the notes. So Django follows this principle here. And then when he goes up with these notes. D minor, but here, see that? Da, da, da. Very classical, you know? So this we found an improvisation 4 like that. It really does 1, 5, 1, but the melody, da, da, dee, and here the same thing. Da, da, dee. Response in D minor. So he loves that chord, huh? He did it here. Now he does it here. And now this beautiful phrase. See that? And I love to really see finish on the mezzo piano. And here the response to that, silence. Okay, so you see how coming here from the it's like a mezzo forte decrescendo to a piano. See, it allows the phrase to shrink and shrink and shrink. And then the response is done like the pick closer to the bridge, which allows a more percussive kind of sound. And Django is the king of playing with open strings. See, this is what we call the position 0 on the guitar. And it's everything that happened within the first 5 frets with the open string. This is a whole universe on the guitar. This is the one thing that exists on the guitar that not many people are in control of. Okay, Django was the master of that. And that's why he gets that specific tone and phrasing with that kind of phrase. See? It's full of like open string, you know. A silence. And then the response here. Now we're in D minor. So I can totally hear a violin. Boom. Orchestra. And then he goes on that beautiful long phrase. So here, for example, I try to play this response as smooth as possible like that. See that phrase, how beautiful that is, how well constructed? That's Django's genius right here. That's so Django. See? So there's harmony involved in that, you know. Is going back to A. Where? So it just does D minor and A minor like that. It's fantastic. And here, a little Spanish guitar here. Spanish. The response is very like Spanish, virtuosic. See that? Like that. So this one. This is a very typical thing, you know. And here that's lightning. That's crazy on the guitar to think of. Plays it like that. See that? So it just goes down the scale here. Damn. When? Oh yeah. Am I now? Yeah. Okay. I'm getting lost. So I explain things and then suddenly I'm in something else. Here it's like A minor or C major. I think he thinks a C major here. See, it's very Spanish, you know. Okay. Here he plays the ending. So he suddenly goes closer to the fingerboard here, and he has this response like that, this tone, you know, very smooth and pianissimo. So when you play something like that, pianissimo with this note, it's like, it's vibrating like that, very intense. We're in Debussy right here. It's the same thing. So here it changes one voice. That's the subtlety of Django's mind. See, it does the B become a C. That's the first one. That's the second one. It's amazing. So. And now the final chord. Voila. So you see, there's like it starts very on the Baroque side, classical, aristocratic a little bit, you know, like beautiful, like a march, you know. And then it goes a little bit toward the end, like towards Spain, and then it ends up like very Spanish impressionist. Okay? Let me play it from beginning to end for you. Improvisation number 5. Voila. That was improvisation number 5. Now I have a second one for you. See, improvisation number 5 is really beautiful. It's short too. It's like one of the shortest actually, but it's full of like incredible stuff. Improvisation 2, part 2, 1938. So, I got the Impressionist vinyl. 1938. I'm very bad with dates, but I think I said that already. Remembering it's like history at school. Oh my God, that was terrible. Learning when Napoleon had a battle or something. I didn't care about. So, it's very similar than the first one that I played yesterday. A few things are changing, okay? I'm going to go through it. So I already gave a pretty deep explanation of what's going on in this piece yesterday. So I'm just going to show you the differences and then play it. The third one, which is recorded live in 1946, I believe, I play tomorrow. This one is more different than these two. So, but for now. So in the beginning, same thing, remember, he mixes a lot of the major and minor keys. He takes the tonality as a whole, so he starts exactly the same way. And I like to play slower. Once again, I play everything slower than Django. I stop on a few things and all. I think that Django was also like on a time constraint with the way the things were recorded by then. And I don't know, it's just a different feel of music. I just like when things resonate, you know, and I have this beautiful instrument. So I'd like to spend a bit more time listening after to what happened, which is like something that came with Impressionism. So anyway. Here's the same. That's what we do in the first one, and here, see, we do that. Instead of having the tonic here, the root, it does the voicing with the third in the bass, or the sixth inversion. And then he add this like A7 here. Then after the theme is the same. So once again, this is a 2-5-1. It does that. That's what's underlying, you know. E minor, A7, B, B minor, A, E minor, A7, G minor. Okay, but once again, the work of the bass changes everything. Same thing here, he starts going down with the C sharp on the bass. C sharp, B, A. Same thing. In the first version, the first time he goes with C sharp and B. The second version he goes with C natural and B flat twice. See the difference between that and that? Instead of there is an effect of falling a little bit more with that. Again, is that beautiful? The next part is very similar, but here on the first one it starts the melody like that. Pa da pi da 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 di da. See, pa da di da. That's how it starts the first one. This one is going to start da da di da. So it changes this note. Da da di da 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 di da da di da di da da. In the first one, it just stays in E. You hear? See? And here we still find the same, those two middle voice, you know, because here, this is the outer voices, and the inside voice, the inner voices. That's the one that we try to bring out, you know. and he goes back to the melody, same as the first one. So here, first version, first variation, he changed it, it has G, and he adds this note to do an augmented. The second version, it just stays there. Now there's that whole section which is very fairies playing in the water. There is something about that. It's my imagination, you know, but I share with you. Here what's mind-blowing as a guitar player, okay, chords with 4 notes, and suddenly, now he goes with 3 notes. He lightens it up a little bit. That whole section, of course. And here, it's a very, very delicate little thing, but just on the first version and this one, the first round, when he comes back the first time, he transforms it from a major 7 to a 7. Twice. And the second time he stays major 7. Now there's this beautiful moment. It's really the water fairies playing together, like chasing each other on a magical lake or something. On the first version, he goes here to this augmented chord. On this one, he's going to stay here twice. And now the last response. Like the first one, he adds a third round of that. The first time. And as in the first version, thumb on the E string to make it to avoid noises, and then detuning to the D. Okay? So it starts here and here. So the first version starts like that. So he loves those we are like definitely here with in Debussy. That's how he ends the first one, you know. So we're in the same like world of chords, but the second one, instead of ending on a chord, he ends up on this beautiful series of harmonics, which is really like water exploding like that. So, and here the difficulty is to like release that while the D is still ringing, you see? Bass is still ringing. And then put that, put those harmonics here. Let me play that for you. And once again, Django plays it like very, and when you start listening to him after transcribing and stuff, it's like super fast. I like to go slow and make everything ring and spend a bit more time with it. That's just my way of interpreting things. So that's why it's a bit slower. Okay, let's go. Improvisation 2, second variation. Here we go, my friends. That's it. That was improvisation 2, second variation. So, we have 3 more concerts together. Then that's gonna be it. Hello, guys. Sorry, I don't respond always when I see hello. I see like a lot of hellos popping. Vavo, Kili, Thomas. Hello, guys. Good to see you. I love it to see like you guys putting stuff and all. That's great. Sometimes I'm unfolding thoughts and all, and I just can't stop. But anyway, it's I love it. Thank you so much for like writing on my wall like that. So we have 3 more sessions. Tomorrow we're gonna do improvisation 6. I love improvisation 6. It's amazing. It's a very impressionist piece. You will see. It's incredible. And improvisation 2 part 3. This one was recorded live and is significantly different than the others. For most part, it's kind of the same, but the end is radically different and absolutely mind-blowing. So maybe you want to see that. It's going to be great. That's going to be tomorrow at noon in French and midi en français demain, and at 3 p.m. in English, New York time. I think that's it. I sell CDs if you're interested. Records, everything is available on Bandcamp on my website. Django A Go Go has been moved October 6, 7, 8 in Maplewood and Town Hall, and I'm thinking about other things, but I will let you know soon. We are going back on tour sooner than later, I think, and you will find all info as soon, the minute we can go back, you will know it. It's going to be on my website, stephanewrembel.com. And also I teach, so if you're interested, shoot me an email or like a private message. And I have a couple of spots open every day. Like, I'm pretty full, but I still have a few spots open. So if you're interested, just let me know. All right, I think that's it, my friends. I wish you all a great day. And thank you so much for watching the show, for posting and everything. I really appreciate it. It really touches me. And I'm a bit sad that it's the end of this series, but 3 more and that's going to be it. But thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.